Yes, guys, welcome back again to Flat Cap Bureau Talk. And this one I'm quite excited for. It is going to be reviewing a left sided center back that maybe we should take a look at. Someone who's not exactly on everyone's radar, but I have actually received a few suggestions when it comes to this guy. It is going to be Nico Schlotterbeck, the German international who plays for Freiburg. Just remind me in the comments, whoever it was, there was a while back that someone did suggest that I take a look at this guy. I have seen him play, quite a bit at Freiburg. Definitely did notice him, and he did seem like a great player. But it's more just the way that Freiburg plays that maybe kind of caught my eye. They're having a spectacular season, Freiburg, and I guess so is Nico Schlotterbeck. So it is somebody that maybe we should take a look at as an alternative, or I mean, excuse me, more of a competition sort of kind of player for Ben Davies. I think, in fact, he actually is a great alternative to Ben Davies. A whole lot younger, left-sided center back, left-footed center back, plays in a back three in this moment in time as well for Freiburg, and is certainly a very, very, very talented footballer. So let's take a look at him. Nico Schlotterbeck, everybody. He was born in Weiblingen, Germany, which I believe is in the southwest part of Germany, if I'm not mistaken, near kind of Stuttgart kind of area. He is 22 years of age, just turned 22, by the way, as well. So still an under 23 German international. His height is 1.91 meters tall, 6 feet 3 inches, which definitely is something as well that I think does suit him well when it comes to that left-sided center back. Left-footed, so he just fit in perfectly in that sort of position that Antonio Conte wants in that back three. His club is currently Freiburg. He was out on loan last season at Union Berlin, I believe. But he is, again, a center back, a left sided center back in particular, right now, even for Freiburg. His market value stands at around £18 million. I reckon actually to a degree that if he were to be sold this January or this upcoming summer window, you could probably get him for around £25 million, to be fair. Like, actually, probably a bit less than that. That's actually being quite generous, I think, because Freiburg, at the end of the day, I mean, they're not exactly a cash rich club, and they probably would take, whatever bid that does come in. And if Nico wants that sort of move, I do think he wants European football, or probably Premier League football at least, in order for him to be called up for the German national squad and coming up in Qatar 2022. I do probably believe that is maybe a hope of his to be able to be called up for that. So, he's probably looking for some sort of move in January or potentially the summer. He probably might stay till the summer just because they are having a fantastic season, Freiburg, and maybe he wants to be a part of that. But his contract expires in 2023. So, again, this is a great opportunity. I feel like a very realistic sort of player that we should be taking a look at. Someone that is under the radar, I do believe as well. But if you do know about him, you definitely could see why he is someone that we should be taking a look at. His attributes include him being a great ball carrier. He really does know how to kind of push the ball into midfield. He does exactly what Ben Davies has been doing for us, if not probably a bit better, in my opinion. He is very, very aggressive as well. Like, doesn't like when the ball high up the pitch, which is very, very common when it comes to a lot of German defenders. They do kind of, take a lot of risks, I might say. He is very good in the air, though, and in fact, I believe has scored 2 goals so far this season. And if I'm not mistaken, I think some of those goals have come from corners as well. He is definitely someone they look for when it comes to kind of winning a ball in the air. Very technically gifted footballer. In fact, I could probably say he even slot in at left back and a back four if needed. Very progressive sort of player as well. Like, really thinks forward, doesn't think sideways, doesn't think playing backwards, doesn't even think very safe, which is, again, a very common attribute of probably a lot of German sort of players. For they do like to play very kind of like fast paced, almost basketball like style of football, which certainly I kind of condone, and certainly something that I approve of, because I just think that's exactly what Antonio Conte needs. He does also have plenty of composure as well, though. Really, really calm on the ball in tight situations, is really, really good when under pressure, I feel like, as well, which maybe you might say Ben Davies isn't as much. When he is put under a bit of pressure, he can make a rogue or kind of, poor kind of pass, and a bit of a hospital pass at times, whereas Nico Schlotterbeck, I feel like, would make maybe a better pass in a situation. This is not to say, though, that Ben Davies isn't having a spectacular season under Antonio Conte. I just feel like this guy is a great alternative to Ben Davies, and certainly is a whole lot younger as well. So you'd have maybe one like Ben Davies that's a bit more experienced in the Premier League, and then you have one like Schlotterbeck that's for the future. I think it's a great sort of combination. And again, whoever it was in the comments that shouted out this guy maybe first, please do let me know, and I'd be happy to give you the praise that you deserve. Let's compare his stats. I wanted to compare his stats to Ben Davies, but the problem is that Ben Davies has only kind of recently come into the limelight under Spurs and has only recently been given a lot of playing time. And so, like, their matches played is like a difference of like 7 or 8 matches played. I believe their minutes are kind of ridiculously different as well. So it felt a bit unfair to Ben Davies to probably compare their stats, in my opinion. Just kind of just doesn't tell you a lot. They haven't played nearly the same amount of football this season. Ben Davies hasn't played nearly as much as Nico Schlotterbeck has this season. So it'd just be unfair to Ben Davies to compare them. So who I have compared him with is basically the creme de la creme of left-sided center backs, and that is Alessandro Bastoni. And I will say, if anybody can compare well to Bastoni, I mean, this is certainly the markings of a great player. So I did compare all of his stats so far this 2021-22 season to the likes of Alessandro Bastoni. And so let's break it down. The progressive passes, Bastoni has played 62, while Schlotterbeck has also played 62 as well. And I think what's also must be said here is that Inter Milan are a team this season that really do dominate possession, really do dominate the ball. They play a fantastic brand of football under, not Insigne, what's his name? Um, Shoot, I am forgetting. Um, the Inter Milan manager in this moment in time. It is a bit embarrassing because normally I always it's, uh, geez, I'm just going to look it up really quickly. Quite embarrassing, everybody. Normally I always remember his name. Inzaghi, right? I don't know why I was thinking. I knew it wasn't Insigne, but yeah, Simone Inzaghi, of course, the former Lazio manager, who's having a spectacular season managing Inter Milan so far. A bit embarrassing. I forgot that one. I must admit. Passes into the final third. Bastoni has played 74, while Schlotterbeck has played 65. And I guess the point that I was trying to make was that under Inzaghi's sort of system, like Bastoni really does have plenty of time on the ball, dominates the ball, really has all the opportunities to make things happen, to create things. Whereas Schlotterbeck, while Freiburg have been having a spectacular season and are playing a beautiful brand of football, it's not to say that, Freiburg have had games, though, where they haven't been put under pressure. Like, it is definitely a team that doesn't have nearly the same quality as Inter Milan does. So this is why I think, any sort of times that Schlotterbeck comes even close to Bastoni is a real sign that he is an unbelievable player. Passes made under pressure, Schlotterbeck wins in that regard, where he has 136 to Bastoni's 127. This is kind of, attributes, I would say, to his composure. I think that's just a main attribute of Schlotterbeck, as he has unbelievable composure when put under pressure. Progressive carries, 72 for Bastoni, while Schlotterbeck has 64. And again, that is quite impressive for Schlotterbeck to be close to Bastoni when it comes to progressive carries. Players dribbled past so far, Schlotterbeck has actually dribbled past 11 players, but Bastoni has dribbled past 10 so far this season. And these are all indicators, these sort of stats. The reason I pick these stats is because these are all stats that you would look for someone to kind of basically play that Ben Davies role, that left side center back role. That is the one that is that progressor, the one that it will carry the ball into midfield, will carry the ball almost past the wing back at certain stages and make those inverted runs, maybe underlaps or overlaps, however you want to put it. Past maybe our wingbacks. And I think Schlotterbeck would be a great alternative and great competition for Ben Davies in that sort of role. His aerial win percentage is also quite decent and has also won plenty more aerials so far this season than Bastoni. I think the reason Bastoni hasn't really won so many this season is just because he's, has plays for a team that really dominates the ball. So it's not like he really has to, be challenged very much in the air, where Schlotterbeck has had to deal with a lot in the air so far this season. And he still has quite a great aerial win percentage, despite, I believe, nodding away at least like 40 or 50 more aerials or 50 more headers this season. He's completed 50 more headers this season, or 150 more, and yet he still has a much higher, or not much higher, but still has a higher percentage than Bastoni does, which is quite impressive. Tackles plus interceptions combined. Again, Bastoni does not need to make a lot of tackles and interceptions, but he is still quite behind Schlotterbeck, and Schlotterbeck is 83 so far this season. He actually completes over 5 per 90, which I have said before is a real indicator of a great player. Anybody that completes more than 5 tackles and interceptions combined per 90 is a real sign of a great player. But that'll be it, everybody, on Nico Schlotterbeck. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, this is someone that I actually have taken a liking to, someone who does really impress me from what I've seen in the Bundesliga, just in my kind of seeing eye test, but as well in the stats that absolutely back him up. He really is someone that is for the future, only 22 years of age as well, like recently turned 22. So someone we really should be pursuing. If you did like this video, if you want to give me any suggestions of any players that maybe Spurs should be taking a look at, feel free to hit that notification bell to never miss a video like this one. Feel free to subscribe, drop a like if you really like this one as well, and I'll be seeing you.